Guang Pro, this is what you may be able to witness this year. There are just a few medium and large SUVs running on pure gasoline, and it is also a flagship product of Volkswagen's current lineup in China. Let's briefly discuss the differences. The first upgrade point is the exterior, where there will be noticeable changes. The front light cluster, along with the entire body structure, has now adopted the MQ platform, but that's not the main point. The most significant change lies in the car's interior design. The power has been increased to 2 million, and the tail mark has become 450 and then 380. It's a minibus. It needs 450, a 450 type engine plus a new electric. DQ501, once I lose, I'll drive it for everyone first. It's Volkswagen. Why do you like Volkswagen? What is one of the reasons why many northern users especially love Volkswagen? Everyone, look at this door. First of all, the opening method changes the handle. This is normal, but it begins to feel like you see. Makes 2G unable to open. As soon as the card pulls the sound, you have to add the 3-stage Le Raffinement. Do you know? Plus, when the door closes. This sound is very good. It feels real when used. It is the kind of feeling that Volkswagen has always given everyone a good body in white. It has a very real hole. And the new Bauern Pro has continued to be special. And it also adds, for example, look at the color of this car. In the past, Volkswagen used to use a brightening device, but I added the G-leather to the face rubber. As for the model, people with large rims feel that they are very practical. This is also a key reason why many users think that buying a Volkswagen is very practical. Let's first look at the position of the car. Its price hardware is 3-hair camera. This driving system is right. It is currently one of the first products in China, and it also lists this camera, which represents a recorder. Everyone has this function. In terms of lamp, ancient IQ light is also a multi-light source style. It should be similar to the Pocket Pro, which has this kind of light dimming function. Then look back. This car is in. There are 4 doors. All 4 doors have the number 2 entrance system, one for black, one for privacy, one for glass, one for the top, the luggage rack, and the hollow type and hollowed out rack. I will repeat it for my home. The advantage is that it can be installed directly. The roof is sloped, or yes, and there is no need to add a pit pole. For many shorter ones, such as those with high lines in the basement, it is beneficial and helpful, and it is also convenient for me to expand to the rear of the car. I haven't seen it yet. The 450 TSI is really 380. That's in the past tense. It's after 450. I opened the trunk. The entire 3 rows of spacious seats in this Pro model are all fully electrically adjustable in this particular configuration, which provides a significant amount of room in the rear area. The design of keeping the spare tire can actually give more space if the tire is taken out, but the public always seems to prefer to keep the spare tire for everyone. This is a cost-free operation, but it will make everyone use the car. It's safer. Why do I want to lose the motivation? Because the improvement is not just a parameter. A change in this engine can be said to be earth-shaking. If we don't talk about those specific things, we even think of 2 things. One is a National Spray O Institute of 500 Wen. It can. In this cylinder, it is more fully collected. If every drop of oil is solidified into it, when you reach the tail section of the exhaust, the air will be cleaner and the fuel will be cleaner. Then, through 3-way catalysis, plus the help of GPF, the goal can be achieved. The goal is to achieve the emission of the national flag. Basically, there should be no problem, but you may have doubts before. Volkswagen oil vehicles, and there will be some problems of betting on GPF. Will it appear in this matter? Right, then I will be very responsible. This car has made some changes in the entire layout of 3UN and GPF. From the previous split type, it is the exhaust tail section. 3UN is good, and the GPF is separated. The layout has become now that if they are directly connected together, it can better increase the temperature of the GPF. In this way, it can better preheat and better realize the restoration of regeneration. So, this generation of engines should no longer have GPF guidance. Don't worry. Such a great optimization will be carried out. I won't talk about other VTG turbine timing technology, mainly to provide its driving, but Volkswagen's turbine engine and dual driving quality, everyone knows that it has always been a very good power among gasoline vehicles. So we will wait for the dynamic price to talk about it. Okay, finally, let me talk about his correctional institution. The Superior Public is a very traditional enterprise in automobile research and development. They will have a large number of vehicles. On the tire equipment, for example, 2 configurations of 10 configurations of a car are the main kingpin configuration. But on top of this tire, they will be alone. Those who make this tire will look for tires of the same size on the market for batch distribution to see which one is the best. At present, the choice is Good Eagle F, which is a comprehensive tire. The combination of tires and this car is fashionable. The public has been carefully tuned in their own time. I think this East is also. It is equivalent to giving you a happy message to this event. If you buy this car, the tire at the rear wheel is the best. It's the same journey number because in this way, you will have a better understanding of your feelings and probably come to the car. Every time you flirt with a new Volkswagen model, I have to say one thing is this screen. You can have a look. There are a total of 3 flat instruments in this piece. There is also a passenger video screen in the central control screen, right? The middle level is facing the main driver. The main driver's level is also facing the main driver and only has the co-pilot. It is usually used for driving. What are the advantages of this? The advantage is that the main driver can read this very well. The central control screen can read this very well. There is also a HUD on the front instrument panel, right? It belongs to a driver. One is mainly designed. And for the co-pilot, please look at your co-pilot. Although he is a younger one, there is no problem. If you want to watch it, you can watch the 6th one. The trend of the times. It's like this, but you think about using the central control screen to play this kind of video to affect the concentration of the main driver when driving. I believe many old cars feel the same way. Many new places like this now will have a connected screen or a sunflower screen. On the one hand, it looks at the main driver. And on the other hand, if you play videos on the Chinese screen, if he is not driving, it will affect this. It's very critical. Volkswagen has done a good job, and then this tradition does not mean a rotating gear. There is no problem, because it is mainly for the space in the middle. The space in the middle is still very large. Now, there are 2 mobile phone placement areas. This one on the left should be a fast charger. There is a small opening in the air duct at the bottom. It can bring the charging cable below you up from this hole, and the entire center station becomes cleaner and more beautiful. The small wheel in the middle is also a small screen, and you can see that it has the same small screen. Even the Accord also has a small screen. What is the button in the middle of the Micro? But its quality is beautiful, and it also has these functions that can be touched and rotated. But look at the crystal texture of Volkswagen, it is really good, no problem. Then open the big fur box at the back, and the inside it's a very big space. This space is really useful. There are some now. Because there will be some cables in the middle, the space in the middle is very small. But the space in the middle is indeed large enough. But there may be one less Japanese-style air conditioner with a connection function so that it can be kept warm. The public doesn't like it very much. Make a fuss about this, but it is an aromatherapy system. Which aromatherapy system is small? Okay. What about the car machine system? The car machine system, let's briefly talk about it. The first one is Tencent and Tencent's family tube. The first one is naturally supporting WeChat, Tencent Maps, and so on. But the most important thing is that after the mass production of his new car, he will access it after self-sale. Baidu's new and DeepSeek. What do these 2 large language models bring? It is your language interaction function, your search function, your entire one, and the query function will be better than before. It's stronger. This is undoubtedly good. I'll go to the 2nd and 3rd rows to take a look at the opening method. There's a small plane and a wave frame. It's so interesting. This is also a G-leather material. Before getting on the bus, let me show you how the seats are adjusted, because it is very important for 3-row SUVs. Because many SUVs are in the 3rd row. If you can't adjust the 2nd row well, the utilization rate will be very low. Let me briefly show it. He has a ditch hand at his shoulder. Look at his switching way. He moves forward and down, right? He is not simply moving forward. If you move forward and downward, there will be a lot of space when you enter. If you look at me, there will be no problem in moving in and then line up. Let me see that there are 2 spaces, the entire rear. Although the shoulder handle is an SUV, it is better than ours. I'll try this MPV next time. The height of the MPV is much higher. Let me tell you about it. I have other MPVs that cost more than 200,000 to 300,000 yuan. The domestic MPV has the third row of seats that reach mine. At least to my shoulders, the head of life, I have to rely on the long-distance head to lean back and forth. I think this is okay and acceptable, but the third row is really a bit difficult to jump. The space in the third row is not very large, but compared with the Highlander, its usability will be stronger because sitting here for my body is like this. A little bit, the body is smaller, and there is still no problem for my friends to sit there, and there is a separate space at the back. The Type-C interface has a monument frame and an independent air outlet, so there is no problem in using it. Now, the front and rear positions of the seat are different. I look at the adjustment. In this place, it is the rear and tail angle adjustment. The backrest and base are linked. It is not simple. Simply pushing the seat forward and extending the seat forward shows a problem. Is it possible to have a second seat in this car? It's flat, isn't it? Scared indeed. It can be folded almost flat. If the third row of seats is lowered, it means that it can form a large space in the back row. Putting a store is just a bed, which can realize an outdoor function. However, when it comes to oil, maybe the problem with outdoor retail is not whether there can be a bed, but whether there can be air conditioning and whether it can be closed. The window is about it, but he gave us an option, and I don't think there is a problem. Okay, let me take a look at the space in the second row. Just now, our seat was the front. What is my approximate space performance in the front? If there are two fingers in the back row, it is also a two-finger conversation or the same sentence. If I am here, this is how the space shows. You can go no to make up for your figure. What kind of space is there in this car? The configuration is also unique air outlets. The air conditioning adjustment function is unique, the seat heating is unique, and there are two C ports. There is no problem. I like these two very much. They are very good for holding mobile phones. Open the curtain. Because it is a privacy glass in itself, there is no need to post hairs when adding growth points. You may think that you have been talking about it for a long time. I feel that these functions and configurations are all on my electric vehicles. It doesn't feel very novel, but this is the problem. This is one. From this year, after 25 years, you can see more and more pure, medium, and large SUVs with 10 points, high configurations, and high-quality SUVs. Because in recent years, you may have tried to buy some stable motor vehicles or pure electric vehicles. For example, in fact, the cost and reliability of the car, plus the value retention rate, plus the trouble of replenishing energy will make you think that fuel vehicles are still the best tool for driving in this era. He is a very reliable tiger, right? So if Volkswagen puts his engine part of his heart on top of this technology, it has been greatly enhanced to improve its reliability. GPF1 has its own improvements, a new entertainment system, and an upgrade, plus it has its own space, right? With such a change in spirit and the addition of his bracket, then this process is ready to come out. It's actually that things value interest, right? I want to buy a gasoline car, I want to buy a large-size car, I want to buy a car that is balanced in all aspects. Sorry, these are all left now.